CLS Background Investigations. We're starting a series here for our public service heads, chiefs of police, sheriffs, fire chiefs, battalion chiefs, those that have the responsibility of overseeing the hiring for their agency. Talking about the risks involved in a poorly conducted background investigation at the pre-hiring stage, and how that can impact you. So this series will contain a number of videos directed towards you at this specific topic, and you can find them parked on our YouTube channel at workplaceviolencemitigation.com. I will also be sending out some postings on LinkedIn and whatnot that will give you some further insight as to where you can go to see these videos. So we've altered our focus yet further to serve the public service industry, specifically police and fire. We've redone our website. You can see us at www.cls-ent.com. That's Charles Lincoln Sam Edward Nora Tom.com. Feel free to go there and take a look. The website has recently been updated and refreshed. Came out great. We're very proud of it, and hope that it will help you to find us so that we can continue to serve you well with regard to this particular topic. So I'm going to talk a little bit first off on this first episode just about the risks to you as the agency head. Now, whether you are a chief because that was your goal from the day you graduated the academy and you put your time in and you are now in a position where you've got what you've always wanted, or rather you are the chief by default, or the chief position is a second career, whatever. The point that I'm trying to make is you are likely in the twilight of your service to the communities that you serve, whether that be fire or police. That is usually where that position comes into play and where it happens. Now, the issue becomes with regard to hiring and filling your ranks is it only takes one individual to do something stupid to soil your entire career, and they're walking you out the door because you are the chief there. So it is, for your own self-preservation, extremely important that you are diligent in your hiring practices. Now, does this mean that if you do a solid background, it's going to guarantee you a good employee? Absolutely not. And anybody that tells you any different is lying to you. But what it does mean is you will be able to make the argument that, hey, I did all that I could do, all that I was supposed to do, all that I was legally allowed to do to process this individual and appropriately vet him or her, and still had a problem with them. And when the problem arose and was brought to my attention, I immediately took action to mitigate that issue. But let's try and keep the fox out of the henhouse and keep these people out of there to begin with. Now, I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of fire department agency heads and police department agency heads throughout the country over the course of the last several years regarding this specific topic. And some of the answers I get as to what they're doing now or not doing now, frankly, shock me. There are plenty of fire agencies out there, and we're going to focus a little bit on the fire side today, that really aren't doing anything with regard to backgrounds of the people they hire. We have some smaller agencies that say we hire local individuals and we've known the families of these individuals forever. It doesn't make any difference, right? You want to make sure that you are running everybody that you hire through the gamut. It is your hide on the line if you get a bad hire. It's the chief that they're going to single out. You should have known. You should have done this. You should have done that. To be lots of armchair quarterbacking. So let's take the steps that we need to take to make sure that you're not bringing in bad people to begin with. Okay? If you are doing these in-house, you are likely not doing them correctly. If you are doing these or having your local police department do these for you, I assure you that they are not doing these correctly. Here's where I come from. I got 24 years of law enforcement experience. During that time, a portion of my assigned duties as a lieutenant for my agency, hence the name Lieutenant Dan, was to rewrite the policy, practice, and procedure for the background program when we were hiring people. I also headed up the field training officer program. So I'm very, very well versed with regard to this as it applies to public service. I have also been operating CLS background investigations in excess of 26 years at this point. And I have probably about 100,000 backgrounds under my belt. So I've done this for many, many, many years. And I can tell you by and large, most agencies are doing these things incorrectly and violating federal and state laws when they do it. If you have never heard the term Fair Credit Reporting Act as it applies to your background investigations, you are most assuredly in violation. If you do not know what a pre-adverse action notice is, or an adverse action notice is, or if those are terms that you are just hearing now on this video, you are absolutely 100% in violation of what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you clarify or understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. You need an unbiased, blind process, which if you're doing it in-house or your law enforcement agency is doing it for you, I can promise you, you do not have those things in place. So what I'm offering you right out of the gate with this video is a free phone consultation. Call me. Let's talk about what you're doing currently. I can help point out for you the errors that you may be making, and maybe you can address them in-house and fix it, and maybe you need further assistance with doing that. Either way, the last thing I want to see coming from public service is an individual who's earned the right to be the chief of their department, and then that reputation and that career gets soiled in the twilight of the career because you hired somebody that was looking at child porn on your computer in your station house, and now it's come to light and you've got a real problem. So if you are interested in having a conversation about this process, by all means, reach out to me. You can get me at 815-836-0236. That is our office. I am at extension 1003. You can contact me at Dan.Skocilas, SKOCZYLAS, at cls-ent.com. I would be happy to discuss these things with you. If you want to send an email through our website, whatever it takes to get a hold of me, by all means, do it. I'm offering this for nothing. I'm not going to charge you for it. You get 30 minutes of my time on the phone to talk about what you currently have in place and how we can help you to understand where your errors may lie so that you can address these things and fix them. The next episode that we do on this is going to focus specifically on the fire side, and then we will do one that focuses specifically on the law enforcement side as well, to cover the Sonia Massey Act in the state of Illinois, which is a new entity. But compliance is king in all of these situations. It is very important that you comply with what the law says, because they are going to be looking to hang you on it if you don't. So in the meantime, you've got my contact information, you've got numbers, emails. Reach out to us. Let's talk and make sure we get you on the right track. Talk to you soon. Bye.